Good evening and welcome to Xbox Tavern's X-Pod Tavern, where we all love to go supersonic racing. I'm Jamie and I'm once again joined by Scottish Gruff Ross.
Hello.
Millie Man Ian.
Hello.
And MPV Graham.
Hello.
Gentlemen, how are we this week?
Not too bad. Glad to be back.
I was
How was the
super
big
happy
burly
up
men?
until about 7:10 tonight.
We're missing ladies' favourite Daniel, I'm afraid, ladies. Terribly sorry you have to do with our bog standard at best mugs, but he'll be back next week.
Maybe.
Well,
Maybe
back next week.
We'll decide at 7:15 next week.
Yeah, just before we're about to go live, as we do every Sunday at 8 p.m.
Ish.
Thank you very much. So let's get straight into the news, shall we, gentlemen? Oh, that was a long word. Right. GoldenEye. Who's played GoldenEye? Who's old here? We're all old.
Oh, yeah.
I have a feeling I'm the oldest one, so we'll just pass over that part. GoldenEye. We used to play on the N64.
Oh,
Come
yeah.
out, fantastic game. What a brilliant shooter. It was
Little charcoal pencil.
it was sort of redefined multiplayer gaming, I think, especially for our young minds playing first-person shooters on a console with the little funny 3-prong controller in that. But since then, it's sort of died a death where it's been stuck on N64. Ever since, there's been fan ports and rumors of remasters and stuff. But now we could very well finally, possibly on this, what is it? Some anniversary of James Bond, I think, this year, isn't it?
Something like that, yeah.
We could very well be getting the final upspuff HD remaster of it on Xbox, according to VentureBeat Jeff Grubb. He said, I think that Microsoft is going to be the one to announce the game first, as opposed to Nintendo, who originally published it on Nintendo 64, of course. And I think it's probably coming pretty soon. I'm thinking next couple of weeks. Nothing been announced officially yet, and this was just under a week ago. So in theory, if it's going to happen, it'll probably happen in the next week or two, according to him. So, gentlemen, let's talk about GoldenEye, what we like, what we'd like to see from HD remaster upsoft goodness. Graham, tell me.
It's hard because you don't want them to change a thing about the kind of gameplay because it was just a masterpiece the way it was, because it was so unfinished, which made it that much more fun to play because it was so opening. Games have come a long way since. I think the only sort of big change up it would probably need is maybe a few more characters and character balancing. So you're not just playing against, a bunch of odd jobs.
Odd jobs, yeah, I'd say.
Everyone that's below head height, so when you're trying to aim for their heads and you've got a tiny little odd job you're trying to shoot downwards.
They should have a mode where just one player also plays Jaws and gets shafted against a team of odd jobs.
Well, that's what I mean. But with the dual
amazing.
stick, this is kind of dual stick, so the aiming obviously is going to be a little bit more refined now. You'd think.
I hope so. Yeah.
Shouldn't be much
Hopefully
worse.
it won't be forced inverted.
Yeah, well, this means that the C button strafing is all kind of gone out the window now.
Yeah. So for the young kiddens, we had the single stick, didn't we? And
Yeah.
we used that to move and turn, I think, and then as you said, C button strafing and looking up and down, having to hold the right bumper to get the cursor up to aim around the screen, sort of routing you to the spot.
Exactly.
Is there any sort of standout level, either multiplayer or single player, that you particularly would be excited to get back into?
Oh, the facilities just to hide in the toilet vent, because there's the neat trick, wasn't it? Where you hold like the aiming and spun left, you could spin on the toilet and go back into the vent and hide in the vent.
Like a right cheating cunt.
And then you watch everyone trying to do it just because there's that one way to kill the leader or whatever it was. You had to find the right person, and that person just camped up in the vent. So
That'd be quite fun if the real modes like infected, could just be like, nope, I'm hiding up there.
Yeah. So yeah, that kind of level was pretty fun. I think I hated the Moonraker one, the Space Temple one. Hated that level. Was not a fan of that one.
It was very repetitive, wasn't it? Because it all looked the same, so you get fucking turned around well easy.
The same as the Temple one, the Baron Sambi's.
Yeah,
it's just you kind of worked it out eventually, but it was so wide open.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the invention or the bringing apart of the two analog sticks will sort of balance out the sort of characters. But as long as they're all kind of same height-ish, so there's no benefit of being the short one anymore, the smaller target, shall we say. Poor Jaws.
I think, definitely dual analog sticks will improve it at no end. But it was already a fucking solid shooter when the way the shields worked and the
Mm.
hitting the body parts was sort of nude at the time, hitting them in the knee, and they're sort of hopping around, or they drop their gun if you shoot their hand, stuff like that. Especially in the single player, anyway.
I don't
Ian?
miss that gasp though. To be fair, every time you get hit.
It's gonna kill me. Ian, tell me about Golden Knight. What are you looking forward to?
I want them. Hopefully, they live before we have the unlockables. Because one of my favorite modes, because it was just purely because it was so annoying, was big heads, slappers only, one hit, one kill.
Oh yeah.
Just go up.
Ba-da-da-da.
Oh, tired. You used to both kill each other at the same time. It was
Mm.
just pot luck.
That's what I mean. But the slappers only harder because of the C button strafing bit. Because everyone would just spin around in a circle
That's
trying to
it.
slap each other. So if you were just an
It
onlooker
goes so
watching two
fast.
people just doing laps around each other, trying to slap each other or throw in
Yeah.
knives, the worst knives in any game that you can't hit anyone with.
Oh, well, not as bad as the club though, but
You're wooden clubs.
Dual wielding clubs.
that match would go on forever.
My health's regenerating faster than you're killing me. What's going on?
Yeah. Clubs take 10 bullets in the one hit to kill things.
Yeah, for me, just stuff like that's fun game modes. I hope they let you have unlockables and the fun game modes. Obviously, hopefully, of course, has to all be online as well.
Yeah.
You know, if they can get online modes, like all that kind of stuff, you can add your own modes in. I think that's be hours of fun.
That'd just be chaos.
Would you
It'd
like
be,
to
it'd just be
see?
fun, especially when you get your friends involved and stuff like that. Just the banter that could go involved along with that.
Yeah.
could be
Oh,
quite
yeah,
fun.
that's the point. They're increasing the number because it was only 4 before.
That's
They
what
can
was going to be
increase,
my very good question. Yeah.
and then obviously have a whole like private server thingy, so you can have sort of just your friends playing against each other on that
Yeah,
bit.
private matches and stuff like that. Yeah, because it was only 4. You're right. Yeah, so at least up that to maybe 8 or 16. But again, you've got to make the maps bigger. You probably can only really have is 8.
Yeah, I think 8 would be
maps.
all right. But,
I think 8 would be a magic number because
Unless
any more
you're-
than that, the maps would be too clustered.
Yeah, I was gonna say unless you're going to add elements to the map, it would be. I feel like you
Expand
would
it
just
out.
drop in and like you turn around the corner and there's 4 people just waiting.
I suppose because all of the maps were based on the single player levels, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yes.
So in
Yes,
theory,
yeah.
they could kind of just expand them
Expand
out.
them up.
Part, yeah, using the single player stuff. But
They'd have to add
yeah.
obstacles in there because that was the thing they never had. There was literally no rails, there's no obstacles or anything. Everything was just open place. So even when you go up the stairs, like there's no wall to protect you. You go up the stairs, you just
You just fucked,
open
innit?
there.
just a ramp in it, yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you whipped out the RCP 90, everyone's screwed. If you can aim a bit better.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I go back to Ian saying with the unlockables like the big head and all that sort of stuff. That was done via beating the levels on the different difficulties, wasn't it? And
Yeah.
then
Yeah,
sort of
correct.
hard
Yeah,
times.
to be certain levels will unlock certain difficult. Like it's a pick like one level of secret agent in under 5 minutes, and you get this unlockable.
Yeah.
See, that's one thing
I
I,
quite
really
like
loved
that
about
idea.
that whole game. It was awesome. I'm sad that I think the only other games that did that sort of thing were what they call Time Splitters, which was obviously made by most of the same people.
Yeah, well,
'Cause
so did
The idea of having different difficulties, not only unlock different things, but also have them actually have different objectives is something I think is really awesome.
But so did the other
Yeah.
Bond games. So I can't remember what was the other Bond games like Rogue Agent. Was it Rogue Agent?
Can't remember which
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, there's been a few in there.
So it was
that-
ones
that
where
they-
like
they
Sean
were-
Connery was doing like, or it was like they were basing it on Connery and that. If you played them through at higher levels, you unlock different unique things by playing it on harder difficulties and then doing objectives. And they get very Hitman like. Whereas if you
Yeah.
get like if you get like your silent assassin and things like that, you unlock more. They done stuff like that as well.
Yeah, I feel like especially like paintball mode, just little things like that. You see, oh, someone's been here because there's loads of paint on the walls. Like I'm not gonna go that way.
Yeah,
Oh,
In
I'm
fairness
glad they
though-
have to take out proximity mines because that just ruined the game.
In this
Bloody things.
in this day and
that
age,
was
all
fun.
you
Though.
would
If
get
that's
is
any
just
game, that's fun.
walking around different corners and it would just be like big penises drawn on walls.
Yeah,
Just toilet humour.
nothing better than 13-year-old boys drawing penises and paint on walls, eh? In games. So yeah, I'd like to see more of the the different difficulties, like I said, Ian. Give the unlockables. I think what was the hardest one? I think it was facility, wasn't it? You had to do it on 008.
Facility and under a certain
about-
bit. That's what
under
unlocks
about a minute.
invincibility.
Yeah, it was rock hard, but that was quite satisfying. We finally whizzed your way through that level. But yeah, that's for me. I'm looking forward to going through the single player again, really, and seeing all them different missions in a nice HD version. Saving Natalia in the snowy level. I can't remember the actual level's name.
No.
And getting in the tank, going down the street and destroying everything.
Sean Bean.
Yeah, I was
Sean
gonna say
Bean.
Sean Bean. Yeah.
with his square head. Ross, is there anything
Makes me want to
else
watch
you're
the film
looking-
now, actually, before
Oh,
it
don't,
comes out.
because now I'm thinking, oh, I really like GoldenEye. It was one of the better Brosnan ones.
England James.
for England? Ross, anything else you'd like to see from this upspuff James Bond HD GoldenEye goodness?
I think consensus, just more of the same. Make it look better. Add multiplayer online. Add more players in it. Yeah, keep it fun. Don't make it a serious shooter. Make it just what made it so fun the last time, with the whole as it comes
And
to
the blood coming
Yeah.
down.
That's what I mean.
just-
Yeah, just don't
wee
really
things like
change
that.
too
Just
much.
Keep it what it was, but make it look good. That's it.
You're right. That's
it.
it.
There's nothing else they need to add to it. It just needs to be kept the same.
As long as you
good
make it
humour.
online, stable, and
Yeah,
less, obviously, more beautiful looking.
yeah.
I guess the best we can
That's
do. It.
all it needs to be, because how
And
much
not inverted.
and not inverted, and how much fun was it before? Don't fix it if it's not broken. Just keep it simple and make it look better. Simple as.
Has anybody else been back to play it in probably the last 5 or so years? Maybe.
Yes.
Only with you guys. I went around yours.
So remember that arcade cafe that I told, or arcade bar that was in when I was away staying? They had on the N64 there. I had a shot of it there. It's not aged well.
No, mainly because of the horrendous frame rate and that controller.
Well,
but
yeah.
Sort them two issues out. I
A
think
buttery
one's all
smooth
winning.
60 frames. Oh,
Yeah, running ultra high 4K HDR. I will have a kind of noises. I don't know. Get that shiny James Bond suit looking stuff. Nice.
Keep his head like an octagon.
yeah.
Yeah,
Change
I wanna be
everything
able to-
else apart from the heads.
I want to be able to unlock all the original character models with their square hands.
Well, I
mean,
mean, like I say, I've just looked up now. If we're saying like its anniversary, it'll be 25 years since the first original came out, and that was 25th of August, apparently.
Yeah.
Hope it's not August. Hope it's a bit earlier than that. But
it would be
it
nice.
probably could be August time we're looking at if it is.
Because
If they're going for the 25 years.
I think we spoke about a few weeks ago that some I think some Rare developers had unlocked some achievements before they hid them from the public recently.
Yeah, there was
Um,
the achievement list came out like beginning of the year.
Yeah.
The achievement list popped up.
Oh yeah. So hopefully, touch wood, we get some nice, decent James Bond action, because I think since then, I don't think any of the rest of them have been any good, have they?
Whoa.
I know they were
whoa,
different
whoa,
developers
Whoa,
and that, but-
whoa.
I mean,
back
looking
up
forward
there.
to the new IO one. That's gonna be good.
Yeah,
Some of the Bond games that have come out have been fantastic.
maybe.
Name some.
Yeah, as I say, name.
Oh, so we take it.
No, without looking it up.
I can't remember the names of the best.
Yeah, they're not that good, they're not. They?
Oh, what was the one? What was the one I played? Nightfire was fantastic.
Well, I'll grant you that one. I've never played it, but only because I hear people mention that one a lot.
From Russia with Love, simply because it was voiced by Connery and it was his character model.
I sense just national pride there rather than it being a good game.
Hey, Connery's the best Bond. Let's not shit about the bullshit. Like, it's fucking just
I mean, Brosnan, but
no. Put it like this:
Ooh.
if you want to have a good James Bond, it can't be English. Simple as.
Someone's a Lazenby
if
fan.
you want a new good James Bond, don't make it Daniel Craig.
Two of the best Bonds: Brosnan, Irish; Connery, Scottish.
Lazenby, Australian.
Well, we don't talk about him. You're having to bring a pensioner fucking Sean Connery back out of retirement just to put a bit of faith in the company again.
I mean, Jay would be better James Bond than Daniel Craig. So
I mean, I've got nothing to announce yet, but they haven't mentioned the new Bond yet. I don't think if they.
I mean, it's
so-
clear it's going to be a black James Bond, so it's going to be me.
I can do that as well. Don't worry. I can do that.
Who wants
so
Tom Hardy when we can have Jay?
Just
Exactly.
just make it fucking Chris Pratt and get on with it. Get it over and done with.
Don't fucking.
Oh, don't wish that.
See if
I've
even if
got to
they,
deal with him as being Mario. Please don't
It's
make
a
it
me,
anymore.
James Bond.
yeah.
Could be worse. Could be Ryan Reynolds.
I probably wouldn't even like. No, actually no.
You're making like you're trying to destroy James Bond with these ideas.
I could have for the fact that he was Canadian and not American. That would maybe just allow me to tolerate it. But yeah. No.
We're not getting into what's wrong with Ryan Reynolds. I like Ryan Reynolds. Anyway,
Ryan
let's
Reynolds
carry on.
fantastic.
No, he's good, but not as Bond.
No, not as
Oh,
Bond. No.
okay. I thought this is okay. All right. So let's carry on then, shall we? let's get some more news out of the works. Capcom mystery game announcement coming, which I think will be tomorrow, the next day. They've got a countdown going somewhere. I really should have looked at the date of it. Yeah, the 21st. Yeah, so tomorrow.
Yeah.
Many rumors out there. Obviously, I would like it to be a new Resident Evil, but it doesn't look like it's going to be the case. It looks like it's going to be a new Street Fighter 6, which is very exciting, I'm sure, for someone. Is anybody interested in a new Street Fighter game?
I mean, as long as it comes to Xbox, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
Because wasn't Street Fighter 5 PlayStation exclusive?
Yeah.
PlayStation exclusive.
Until we buy Capcom, then, everything's fair game.
Day one Game Pass for Street Fighter.
Nah, I can't say I'm overly enamored for a new Street Fighter game.
Yeah.
What I'm starting to think now is what Dan tried to call Daoshin in Street Fighter.
No, it wasn't that one. Wasn't the Balroggy kind of.
Oh, Balrog butcher, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned that one too.
You butchered that one.
But,
yeah, I mean, looking forward to it. I mean, I don't mind the Street Fighters, but again, it's one of those ones where you just pick up and play and then be done with it.
Yeah, play it for a little while.
I'll never get in it. Yeah.
I couldn't put religious amounts of hours in a Street Fighter game. Like you say, pick it up, play a couple of rounds, that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think
especially once one where you go online, it could be such a you have fun with it. Then all of a sudden you get some crazy guy who knows all the combos and just what's the point in playing?
I just like if I was to jump into Street Fighter just now, I would do exactly the same as what I've done for Street Fighter for years. I'd play a game as Ken, I'd play a game as Ryu, I'd play a game as Blanca, I'd play a game as Bison, and then I'd be like, all right, I'm done now. I've played the characters or Sagat, and I've played the characters that are like done. Oh, there's 30 other characters you play. I'm cool.
Yeah,
you can't move Honda forward anymore, so I'm upset about
that.
So you kind of with Honda.
If you're going to play this sort of game, you've really got to get in and say, like, this is one or two characters I want to play.
Yeah,
I'm just going to play them. I'm going to learn them. I'm going to
everything
about
tournaments and
can't.
stuff. Whereas something like Mortal Kombat, I think, is a bit easier to get into because it's not quite as. I know they use it for like esports and stuff like that, but it's not as serious.
Yeah,
like hard to get into if you just want to have a quick game or two and beat someone and rip their head off or something.
And I suppose even with Mortal Kombat, I'm pretty much the same. Like I'll jump in, Raiden, Shao Kahn, Sub-Zero, Scorpion, done.
Yeah, I did a bit of Street Fighter 4 for a while, and I was like trying to get to see Viper, but also with 5 being on PlayStation exclusive, I just didn't bother. I thought, I'm not going to try and get another fighting game out of the way.
Yeah, no achievements, eh?
I've struggled to get into those kind of dual ones. Not for a long time. I've played those kind of dual kind of base ones. I think Mortal Kombat X was the last one I did like that, but I never touched it online or anything. You only have to look at some of those competitions and see how fucking ridiculous people get at the Tekken ones and the Street Fighter ones, and it just puts you off.
I think that's why I ended up gravitating more towards Mortal Kombat, because Mortal Kombat had a few years where they had a good story to their game, like the Conquest mode, and it was quite good. But that at least wanted me to play it to see, like, because the cutscenes and that, and some of the promo videos they put out for it, I can't remember which one it was. I think it may have been X, where it's like they've got Raiden, Kung Lao, and Liu Kang standing at like the top of the pyramid, and it's just like hundreds of NetherRealm guys and Outworld guys sprawling up this pyramid, and it's like the scene. Has anybody seen The One? Jet Li and Jason Statham. It's like the end of The One where Jet Li's character's in this realm, and it's like everybody running towards him, and it's just constant. And I thought, this makes you want to play a game because it had this story mode to it. Whereas Street Fighter, I've never. It's just arcade. I only see Street Fighter as an arcade game.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's very good at what it does, but it's not
like
if you're not into that thing.
No,
you sort of there's no real point picking it up.
Like Marvel, Capcom at least had like a storyline going to it, whether it had like the Galactus or the Ultron stuff. At least it had some sort of story to play through. Whereas this is just.
And you could play as Jill Valentine.
And you could play as Jill Valentine if you wanted to torture yourself like that.
So yes, obviously not Street Fighter fans here, but let's try to play Mortal Kombat, shall we?
But to say Street Fighter doesn't have a story, someone hasn't seen the movie, clearly.
Hey, I love that film, and I genuinely love that film. That is a hill I am willing to die on. I fucking love that film.
Of course.
Now I'm going to choose to believe that you're actually talking about the anime that I've got upstairs somewhere that was actually really good.
Not the story about Ken and Ryu in their beginning and how.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing to do with that. I am talking about Jean-Claude Van Damme,
No,
Kylie
Ross, I was
Minogue.
trying to give you an out.
That's the
I was
shit
trying to
I'm
give you an
talking
out.
about.
Don't do it.
He loves it.
I
Too late.
fucking love it. With the whole bit with Bison making his drink to say it was probably the most greatest day of your life. But to me, it was a Tuesday. It's Chung Li sitting there
It's because
fucking
Raul Julia was the
devastated.
best.
I love that film.
Right, well,
No.
you can. I don't know what to do with that.
No
Let's
comment. Move on. Just move on. Let's
on.
just move on.
Speaking of things that aren't very good, but still somehow are quite good, Cyberpunk.
Yes.
Got a new update. Next gen patch 1.5. Blah 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 blah. It's finally Series X/X and PS5 like Gubbins game. Added extra visual features and ray tracing and decent shadows and all this sort of bullshit. Has anybody tried it yet? Anybody checked it out?
Yes.
No, because I got angry at it because I tried to take 200 gig of my Xbox. I was like, nope.
How much? Sorry.
Well, because I was already installed, I had to install it again. So I felt like it was like trying to take up 200 gigs worth. I was like, so I uninstalled it all, and I was like, do I want to reinstall this now? I was like, no, I'm not gonna bother.
Nope.
My biggest, I don't know, Cyberpunk's a weird one for me because when it came out, it was broke. There's no two ways about this. And there's still bugs in it. There's still guys standing in the middle of cars when you're driving down. There's still flying cars with explosions. There's still loads of wee quirks about it. This is by the same developer as The Witcher, where a whole meme about Roach standing on roofs has become like hilarious and everybody loves it and thinks it's great. It's the exact same as people standing in cars, but there's double standards on because they've got established how good The Witcher is now. And that pisses me off. Looks wise, it's stunning.
I mean, it's a great thing for me. I played it back in the day when it was sort of semi-broken.
Yeah.
I had a Series X, and for me, it was only had really one or two glitches. The rest of the time, I was absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Normal storyline, could play for it fine. As I say,
Well,
only
so
one, I
I
had one
played it
glitch
through.
weird where I was driving in a passenger seat. Another one where I kept falling through a wall.
I mean, what is it? They've got two modes. It says 4K 60, and then it's 4K 30 with ray tracing. Is what they've now added in.
That's it. Yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, and from what I've heard, the 4K 60 is the way to go. The ray tracing's nice if you're not moving, but having to play it at the locked 30 is really jarring, apparently.
I think I will definitely go back to it because obviously I completed it all already and done it all. I'm kind of maybe a little bit curious, but I think they got a DLC coming soon, haven't they?
I know they've got a big roadmap. I think do you think that'll come out before they do the Witcher updates?
Must do, because obviously you've got to get people to come back.
Yeah.
That's people who are completed already. You need them something to come back on. So, was there any DLC involved in this? No, there's no DLC yet, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, okay. Well, I'll wait till there's some DLC, then I might re-download it and play it and see what it looks like.
I think they've changed some sort of quests and added a few. I think they did something with the spec tree, so you took out some perks that were rubbish or that people weren't using and added in a few extra ones or modified a few, but they've not really added anything other than the visual features really. I did install it, but I haven't had a chance to go and to have a look at it yet really. But like you, I'd rather wait for some new content to play, I think, than just go back and play it for the sake of it.
Yeah, just
Yeah, exactly. Because there's no real missions or anything that'll benefit me. But Stadler, there's no real thing that'll benefit me achievement-wise.
Yeah.
No real point. If they gave me something that makes give me achievements, maybe yes, hello, I'll come back.
Teasing with an achievement.
That's what they got to do. Well, I talk about Zitalon games making like James like 5,000 G. I'm like, that doesn't entice me to come back and play your game.
Yeah, you say that now, Mister. I don't hunt achievements anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Until he sees it and goes,
Oh, actually, maybe I could spend a day
I
getting
am
a
cool,
4,000.
maybe.
Yeah.
Have you
5,000?
perfected The Witcher? That
I've
was
never
good.
played The Witcher.
Don't start him on it.
Yeah, never played The Witcher. Never been for me.
I mean, it's definitely the better game out of the two as well.
Oh, yeah.
White old men don't do it for me. Other than Jay.
Well,
Well, we've
you
seen
know,
the evidence.
I was going to say that. Let's not put the pictures back.
Graham,
up to it.
don't.
No, don't pop to my screens.
Yeah. So if you've played it, let us know. Comments and all that stuff. Chat to us on Twitter at Xbox Tavern. Let us know what you think. I don't think it's quite worth going back in yet, as we said, but
Well, I think I've talked about it the whole time
Maybe
it's
soon.
been out. I didn't touch it. I heard how much of a mess it was to begin with from most sources. I know Ian's saying he had little problems with his. So I was waiting until they had released this next gen version of it. So I'm going in blind to what this. I think I've done the first mission where spoilers, you find the girl in the bath.
Yeah.
And that's as far I pretty much got to there and turned it off.
Well, keep going. Still let us know how you can find.
Yeah. So that's that's what I'm saying. That's where I went up to before. So I'm starting a new character and just going for it on this version of the game.
Well, yeah. Give us a weekly update.
See how it goes.
No doubt you'll be in several hundred hours by the time you finished it.
Yeah. Well, if I can get away from a game that I've been playing the rest of the week.
Well, and we'll get to that later on. Thank you very much. Right. One more quick one, I think, and then we'll move on to the rest of the show. So just a real quick and simple one. Quick resume. Decent feature of the Xbox Series X and S.
Oh, that was a nice transition. Just a little quick one.
Just a little quick one. See? Good at this.
Rude.
So obviously, quick resume, it's been good. Obviously, it doesn't work with every game. And it's up until now, we've complained that we can't tell what is going to stay in and what's going to get kicked out if we add new stuff to it, or how, what if we're near to our limit. According to Ida Marie on Twitter at Neon Epiphany, I think she is the engineering lead at Xbox, and she tweets quite a lot about the updates and stuff they're doing to the servers, especially for alpha users and stuff. And she said some screens of the keeping quick resume feature going out to alpha Xbox insiders today, which was a couple of days ago. Up to 2 games can be pinned, so they won't be lost unless the game updates or you remove it. If you try to add a 3rd game, you'll be prompted to choose which game to remove. So I'm in the alpha program. It's already on my Xbox, and yeah, simple as that. You go onto your quick resume group that you've got, press the little hamburger button, whatever it's called, and there's the option there that says keeping quick resume. Done. You can pin 2 of them, and then, as you said, unless it gets updated or you remove it from quick resume, it won't get kicked out if you keep adding titles in, and they replace the other stuff you've got in there. Just a nifty little feature. Keep an eye out for it. Is anyone else going to be using this to pin anything that is special, exciting for them?
I like the fact that you've got the quick resume, but I would never pick games to just have sat in there, because most of the games don't hold in the quick resume. So like FIFA, you have to connect to the EA servers. So take that one out. Mass Effect, that I've been playing again recently, doesn't do it because you have to launch into the launcher to pick which game you want to play. So don't get me wrong, for people who play like the same games over and over, especially games that don't require online side of things, it's a great feature. But it's only great if you're hardcore into those type of games. So like when I jump back into Cyberpunk, for example, and that's quick resume, brilliant. Jump back in, notice pinned there, can drop back in at any time. The Witcher, when they do the update on that, same story. Try to think of other ones that would tick the box for that sort of thing.
Basically, any games that are long games, which you're going to put hours in.
Exactly, yeah. Assassin's Creed Valhalla was one that did have it, but it worked very sporadically. So sometimes
I think it depends what you're playing. I think you can, if you're going to play you're not going to play this title for a long period of time. You're going to keep going back into it. You probably want to quick resume it. But if you're jumping in between different games here and there, or don't complete games like Dan does, you probably wouldn't need that feature.
Exactly.
Over there, and he still gets the shit digged into him. Good.
He deserves it.
I mean, I've been using it because I'm reviewing a couple of games which I can't talk about yet, but they both support it. So to make sure they're still there, so I can go back to them when the kids have finished playing on Xbox, I'll pin them, no problem. And like I said, something like when Starfield comes out, pin something like that because it's going to be hundreds of hours game. You pin it, and you've always got it left.
Yeah, exactly.
Left
Something that
even if you
quickly go back to play
other bits and pieces in between. Yeah, I still would like to see some way of knowing how much more room we've got, as it were. So it's saying you've got this many gigabytes left of quick resume space, or you can add this amount of games to quick resume.
Can you do the other way around? Can you say, I don't want this game to be quick resume?
I was going to say that it does need a reverse option, as Ross said. I
like
would have
Apex
done
Legends, that I don't need this quick resume.
No.
Every time I was like, go to play Apex, like it's on my quick resume. It's like, it takes me longer to log into the game with it being on quick resume than it does without being quick resume.
Put it in and go back into it, exactly the same with FIFA. And if you try to resume it, sometimes it just screws up, so you have to quit out and go back into it.
Exactly.
A lot of the replies to Neon Epiphany were saying exactly that. this is good, but we need the opposite because of live service games like FIFA or Apex or.
But I'm not even
Halo
sure it
even
needs
does
it.
it.
Those games just need to don't have quick resume. It's no point
Yeah,
of
just
it
have a
having
thing,
it.
Yeah, either you have the ability where you say these games just don't need quick resume, turn it off, or they say you have to feature yourself that I don't want it to be quick resume anymore.
Yeah.
Because some games are like, oh, we don't wish I could be quick resume, and it doesn't appear in quick resume. You've always got to reload it. And there's some games where you just have quick resume. Like, why is that quick resume? I'm not going to play this.
Yeah, it seems to be a bit sporadic with what they choose does and doesn't support. I don't know if it's up to the developers or if it's up to Xbox or what. Because there's lots of little indie games which would be perfect for quick resume, little shoot 'em ups and that sort of things, little shrimp games, but they just don't seem to support it. Whereas big games that don't need it do support it. So
PlayStation shrimp games.
Shrimp games.
yeah. So anyway, so if you're in the alpha skip ahead preview program thing, you should have access to that now. And if you're not, then it'll be coming down the line, no doubt, improved, and it might even come along with the option to disable quick resume on some titles. You never know by the time it reaches the general public. Cool. All right, gentlemen, that's been the news, I think, unless anyone else wants to bring up anything particular we've got on our list here.
Let's move on.
Yeah, I'm
I
good.
think we're pretty good on that.
Wet me whistle. Right, thank you very much for listening so far. You're a
One
hero, we
second.
love you.
Oh, no.
All right, go on in. Sure.
I was about to say a Take-Two movie.
What?
What? Take-Two? No, Bioshock.
Bioshock.
Bioshock. It's in the works by Netflix and Take-Two.
Oh, I thought it was a Take-Two movie. I was like, what the fuck? It takes two as a movie.
Yeah,
for it.
Bioshock film in the works at Netflix. There wasn't really anything to talk about, that's why I skipped over it. They just said they're on the case, but they haven't got a director or a screenplay person yet. So it's literally just gone, we're probably going to make one. Anyone want to do it? Stop thing. So
Okay, fair enough.
we'll
So
go
it's
from
not
there.
a It Takes Two movie.
No, it's not an It Takes Two movie. Although apparently that is getting shopped around for an option as well. But we'll come back to that when they announce
Come back
it
to that
in the
later.
future. For now, thank you very much for listening. Again, we love you. You're a hero. You can review us on Apple Podcasts, 5 stars, and leave us a comment, and Daniel will read it out when he bothered to turn up. You can find us on xboxtavern.com for all our written reviews and features, etc., as well as youtube.com/xboxtavernofficial, which is where we are every Sunday at 8 p.m.
Ish.
where we record the podcast as well as
Well, you
various
say we
video
are
reviews,
where we are every Sunday. I don't know if Dan's here.
where most of us are most Sundays at 8 p.m. ish. Twitter at Xbox Tavern, Discord, and all the stuff is linked below, and some fucking hellscape of a site called TikTok. If you want to find something that's not fucking shit on there, go to follow that. You can watch Dan do some daily news videos and tips and tricks,
Well, he's amazing here.
etc. With his amazing Brill
His
cream.
get out of bed look.
And you can also head over to insectcoinclothing.com for Insect Coin clothing and a discount on that. At that, oh my god, lost all my words there. Xbox Tavern 22 for 20% off throughout the year of 2022, and you can get some fantastic clothes in there, as we say every week, because they are fantastic. I'm rocking my Resident Evil. Ross is rocking his N7. I don't think Ian or Graham have got anything to see.
No.
Oh, I've got the old hat as well.
I've got
Yeah.
something underneath, but I'm not going to take it off. I'm hot cold.
I bet you have, darling.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, go and head over there. They've got loads of awesome clothes. And Xbox Tavern 22 for 20% off for the whole of 2022. Right, gentlemen. Video game questions.
Oh yeah.
We'll have a question or two here. Speaking of which, Ian, when's the next quiz?
The next quiz is potentially 75, but
I was
potentially
just-
Dan might be doing it.
What?
Oh,
Oh, wait a minute. This will need to be discussed.
Yeah.
Or maybe just not have Dan in it because he's pretty much useless. Stuff.
Well, I was just thinking, if Dan tries to put any sort of screenshots or slides up on his computer, the whole thing's going to catch fucking fire. So I don't know how wise that is.
It'd just be the picture of him with his fucking cock out like that.
Yeah, he'll spend the whole week sending things to me saying, "Can you set this up for me?" And then he'll fucking host the quiz.
Yeah, and they give you all the answers. Oh, sorry, guys.
Yeah.
No, I can do it again, 75. Probably.
Hey, if it's up for free shots, I don't mind taking a bash at it. But yeah,
Well, you three need to be in it because it's basically should be a winner takes all. Because you've each got one win.
We've we're one apiece at the moment. Ian's obviously the quiz master, and you can find them quizzes up on YouTube.
I still
On
feel
the
like that.
channel.
I still feel like
Episode
that
30,
first.
episode 50, and episode 60.
Still feel like that first quiz should be overturned for fucking StarCraft. I
Wow.
was
I thought
just
you
call,
were-
I was just calling the future.
You were a year too early, my friend. You're a year too
Oh,
early.
shoot.
I'm back
my
for
shot.
blood. Was
I'm
just
back-
a
well,
couple of
well.
days too early.
What can I say? I
but-
like to come finish. I like to finish fast.
But yeah, so we like a question. Quiz is up on there. It's episode 75th. We'll be doing another one, hopefully. But for now, let's ask one of our weekly questions, shall we? Which is game on a system. What is a game on a system other than Xbox that you consider a must play? Let's go with Graham first, shall we?
All right. So the one I picked is Super Smash Brothers on most Nintendo consoles. I won't pick a particular one because they're all pretty decent. The latest one on the Switch is immense, and yeah, it's just there's just for those kind of battle royale games like that. The other consoles have tried to emulate in different fashions, and not one has come anywhere near how fun that Super Smash Brothers can be. It's just one of the best sort of party games you can have. And it's just accessible. Loads of different characters from different genres, different things all brought together. It's just good fun. And yeah, it's just a shame that there isn't an equivalent or anything else close to that on Xbox. There's been some that have tried to be close, but just haven't quite hit that bar.
Yeah, there's what did we play? Was it Brawl Out?
Yeah.
There was
Yeah,
another
that was
one. I forget what the name of the other one was we played, but that was dreadful. And then there was on the PlayStation All Stars, which wasn't very good. And yeah, there's been a fair few titles like that, but they've just all not been.
I think
Anywhere
did someone
near.
review that Nickelodeon one, which was
Oh yes, that was the
bit.
one. All Brawl Stars or something like that.
yeah.
How was that?
I think they gave it an okay-ish, but I don't think they raved on it.
No Smash Brothers.
It's
So,
a game
yeah,
that I've
Smash
never
Brothers.
played. Is the Smash Bros. In fact, that's a lie. I think I probably played it back on N64 maybe, and I never understood the. Maybe because I was too young, but I never understood the concept of it, like how the percentage bar at the bottom worked and the whole like ring out type idea and kicking them off the screen and how you came back in. And I think that sort of soured the experience for me, and I've never went back to it because of that.
It's well worth it, especially if you have a group of friends around, like a sort of local play one night. And even better if all of you don't really have a clue what you're doing, because it just devolves into chaos.
But yeah,
No,
it's
that's
good
good.
fun. And it even led to one of our friends breaking his phone over it. Literally Smash Brothers, his own screen.
Special guest Pete, shout out.
Oh, was it? Why am I not shocked it was Pete? I was about to ask who, and then I thought about it. I was like, wait a minute, why am I asking?
Good times.
Yes, good
Not for
times.
him though, but good
No,
times
not
for us.
well. Yeah, it's funny to laugh back on it in hindsight. But at the time,
It's
maybe
just a
not so good.
coincidence. The game Smash Brothers.
Proper smash the shit out of his phone.
Uh,
All right, Ian, tell us what's your pick for game people should play that are not on Xbox.
For me, clearly has to be Pokemon.
Yeah, like
a lot of Nintendo love already.
I said at the start of the show, that would have probably been my one, but I'll let Ian.
Yeah,
Run
I
with
think
this.
religiously I've bought all of them from Pokemon Blue all the way to now.
Did
Pretty
you
much
start
bought all
with
the
blue or
Pokemon
red?
games. Blue.
And blue, yeah.
It's even played Pokemon Snap and Pokemon Cafe.
Snap.
Yeah,
That's
Snap was
terrible, though.
awesome.
Oh, I didn't like it that much.
Oh, Snap was awesome. Even the
I
new
got bored
Snap's
quite
great as
quickly.
well.
I haven't started Arceus yet, but I'm looking forward to playing that more soon.
Yep.
But yeah, for me, Pokemon has always been my go-to, my guilty pleasure, shall I say?
I don't see it as guilty. I see
Yeah,
it
it's
as
about to say.
a gaming marvel.
It's Ian's guilty pleasure because he can't get achievements, wasting time not playing the game where he can
Yeah.
have his
That's it.
game as well.
Waste time getting those shinies, not even going to use them. Damn it.
The controversial question is, well, two. One, what's the best one that you've played?
Oh, best Pokemon game. And what's the second question?
Are you a fan of Go?
Pokemon Go, yes, I do play it.
Good man.
I'm a fan of it.
Yep.
Best
Pikmin Bloom,
Pokemon,
though, is it?
probably. I think I always really did enjoy Black and White.
That's one. I've not played the black and white ones. I missed. That's the only generation I've not played. I've played the Crystal, the Sapphire, Ruby, Emerald. I've played all of them, but for me, and I think it's just value for money.
I think you say Gold or Silver.
Silver.
Yeah, Soul Silver's pretty much will be
you
up there
start
as well.
the game that you go and then you go back.
Because you go back and you back to Pallet Town
You
and
do
do that
Kanto
one. Yeah.
region as well, yeah. So I would say Soul Silver or Heart of Gold. Soul Silver for me because I was always Lugia over Ho-Ho, but
Yeah, so yeah, I'd probably be a second one. I was trying to think of something like a bit different, like I want to go there. And I think I remember playing Black White a lot
yeah.
from before, but Soul Silver definitely is up there as well.
I did like
Some of the
X and
newer
Y.
ones are far too easy.
I liked X and Y. Again, very easy. Sun and Moon. I didn't like the Pokemon.
No, I didn't like second. I didn't like the concept they tried to change it.
I like Sword and
wasn't
Shield. I quite like that.
Sword and Silver was just far too easy.
Yeah,
It
but that's
felt
the thing.
really
Like the games,
easy.
the Pokemon games these days is one, far too easy, and two, everything's too soft and fluffy. Like
Yeah,
the
It's for kids.
evolutions.
That's why I really like Nexomon because it scales levels with you,
Yeah.
and that's what more games do that. So every time you go up levels, they Pokemon in the wild have got levels with you.
Although,
So
of
there's no
course-
way you ever be.
I forgot what the newest
power
one.
leveling.
The newest one's
Yeah.
called.
Oh, the one that came out recently. Who got that? Oh
Arceus.
yeah.
No, with for Arceus, it was their actual proper inline game.
Oh, Pokemon, you mean?
Yeah. Oh, it was Shining.
But
Yeah.
that's
Oh, sure.
fuck
Pearl.
Shining.
Remakes of Pearl and
Pearl and
That's a
Platinum.
new one.
Yeah, I was like, fuck, I could not for the life of me remember. Apparently,
Pearl remake. Yes.
apparently they've made
Diamond and
that
Pearl.
a bit more difficult, but only at the final, like the Elite Four, because one of the trainers is apparently impossible to beat almost. It's just really...
It's again made it a bit harder. But again, if you not power level, but if you scale your levels correctly,
Yeah, and there's so
it's
many
quite
things
easy.
that you can do.
But yeah,
in
it's
the
a
new
little
ones as
more
well.
harder than Sword and Shield. Sword and Shield was a walk.
I did like what they added in with Sword and Shield and the two expansions.
Yes, Crown Tundra and
Crown Tundra was fantastic.
love one.
Iron something. I can't remember what it was.
I
Something
know
like
what you
that.
mean. Oh, it's gonna annoy me now, but I know which one you mean.
But see, like the mechanic they added in Crown Tundra, where you could go into the dungeon and then battle your way from sort of point one
Yeah.
to legendaries.
Yes,
That was awesome.
that was good. Yeah, exactly. See, when they made the expansion part, I mean, again, it's good because it's expansions and stuff, but expansion pass.
Yeah.
Art of Armor. There we go.
That was
Sorry.
the one.
My mind was going too far into that. I couldn't remember what you're going to say.
Do you ever
Yeah.
regret asking any questions?
I love like Pokemon.
And then it was,
Even
it
loves
was,
that Let's Play one.
it was
Let's Go
oh,
Pikachu.
Let's Play was awesome.
Let's Play was good. They're gonna.
Uh,
They should, I think they should do the next one again for Soul Silver. Again, don't know what you. Let's Play Pichu.
No, let's
Any more
not.
questions, Joe?
No, that's right. Thank you very much for listening. This has been the Tavern podcast. of
Pokemon podcast.
Pokemon podcast.
You know, I think
Science
the only
section.
time I've ever played Pokemon was around Graham's house when he got red or blue, whatever, on the Game Boy, and I think I played for about 10 minutes. Like, this is shit. I never bothered touching it.
The thing is, right? So wait a minute. Let's just establish something here. G, what age are you?
50, 60.
30 something. 30, what am I? Fuck now, I don't know. I got ID'd the other day, and I was like, I don't know, how old am I? 38, I think.
37.
something like that.
38.
Gray, what age are you?
We're 37, you idiot. We're 38 this
37, there you
year.
go.
You say you're 37, you
We're
muppet.
38 this year. He's 37.
Yeah, 37,
We're
38,
both
something like
37. He's a month older than me.
And what's Ian?
I'm 36.
Right. So Ian's 2 years younger. Well, a year and a bit younger. Okay.
Yeah, in a bit.
33 I'm going to be this year. So I was at my early start of gaming perfectly when Pokemon released. So this is what got me hardcore Game Boy obsessed and fucking driving in a car like this up at a light trying to see my Game Boy as I'm walking through fucking Pallet Town
Yeah.
trying to sort shit out.
I'm
Old school.
surprised you don't like Pokemon, Jay, but you love Pikmin.
Pikmin's much better, though, isn't it?
No.
No, it's not.
It's so
You know?
rubbish.
No, it's
You know?
not.
So
Then
much better.
again, let's go on to you next. What is your
That's what I
game?
think.
Yeah.
And then we can go to this whole conversation about what
As you
game
didn't
you've
pick the spaceman throwing onions at animals.
Well, I mean, I could have picked Pikmin, I could have picked Uncharted and Last of Us and all sorts of shit, but I thought, you know what? I'll branch out for a bit of a different answer for a change, and I'm going to go with Chibi Robo Park Patrol, which is a fucking awesome game on the DS. So again, Nintendo console. We're loving a bit of Nintendo. But yeah, it's fucking brilliant. So there's a Chibi Robo game on the GameCube, which I only really played a little bit of, but the gist is you're this tiny little robot and you've got to help fix up a park basically. And so you have to plug yourself into an outlet, charge up, and then you've got to try and do your tasks for the day before your battery runs out. And it's not necessarily the best game in the world, but it's something really like sweet and charming to play while you're, I don't know, sitting on a sofa. Or I played it when I was on holiday, so after a day out or whatever, sit down, play it for a couple of hours. Yeah, it's just really nice and relaxing. The music's lovely, the visuals are lovely. The whole vibe is just something enjoyable. And I think especially for younger players, because I mean I wasn't young when I played it, but it's sort of definitely designed for younger guys, girls and guys playing it. Yeah, it's just something really nice. It's almost like that same sort of premise of Pokemon. So it's not like a really particularly challenging game or particularly in-depth game, but it's just something nice to play to relax with and just enjoy yourself for an hour or two, and then go back shooting zombies in the face or trying to figure out how to save the human race from aliens or something. But yeah, no, I'd really love it. It's a lovely little game.
I've never heard that game before in my life.
No, not very many people have. And again, as I said before we started, it's quite hard to get hold of now. So I'm very glad that I managed to find it when I did.
I mean, I seen Paw Patrol and like I got a bit more intrigued, but yeah,
no, it's definitely no Paw Patrol. Definitely no Paw Patrol. Yeah, like I said, there's a Chibi Robo game on the GameCube, and there's one on the 3DS, which is a bit like a 2D side scroller. Both of them are not as good as this one. I definitely much prefer Paw Patrol. Yeah, it's just lovely, charming, and wonderful. Ross, please don't say Pokemon again. What else have you got?
So I've went down the PlayStation route, and as Jay was saying, you could have picked a number of them. You could have picked Horizon, you could have picked Uncharted, Last of Us. But for me, my style of game, so like Last of Us probably matches it in regards to like voice acting and things like that. But my type of game and where it's based, what the storyline behind it is God of War's like a must play. Well, not even that. Even going back to the older ones and like seeing some of the storylines, with like how he became like the Ghost of Sparta and things like that. Like that's like Greek mythology, Norse mythology it's in now, and no doubt they'll eventually bring another God of War where he ends up in Egyptian mythology or whatever it may be. It's just that's right up my street in regards to storytelling, and just this latest one is absolutely stunning to play. The characters are amazing, the fight mechanics are amazing, the voice acting is just like it's iconic, just as you say with the boy and things like that. It's one of the few games where I think of being PlayStation I've actually got a platinum on it. 100% of the story, 100% of the side stories, done all the like challenge maps. It's I love the God of War game. It's one of the best games ever made, and it's one of those ones where it was, would you buy a console that you wouldn't normally buy for the sake of a game? And the answer for that would be yes, I would. If I didn't have a PlayStation and when they brought the new God of War Ragnarok out, would I go out and buy a PS5? Yes, just to play that game. I probably embody that sentiment exactly because I bought my PS4 when God of War came out. Yeah, and I was I had the PS4 and it lay there untouched, apart from Fallout 4 when it first launched because it was there day and date when I bought the console. Then I gradually added more games to it, but God of War was what made me jump back into my PS4 sounding like a fucking jet engine, even though I cleaned it every 3 weeks to make sure it didn't sound like that.
See, I bought my PS4 because I wanted to get PSVR, and it just happened to be around the time God of War. And I was like, I'd never really liked the older God of War games, but it was like in the bundle, so yeah, I'll get it, I guess. And I thought, well, I bought it, I might as well play it, and it was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
absolutely incredible. I loved every minute of it. And it was a stark contrast to the hack and slash type games of the older ones. Really good.
The only game, I suppose it's kind of similar type idea to the old ones that I could compare it to just for the fact of the storytelling behind it and what it's is Dante's Inferno.
Yes, that was a good game.
Very hack and slash, very just hit buttons as fast as you can, massive big monsters. Awesome backstory to what Dante's Inferno was, and the God of War story, how it all started about killing his family and serving Ares and things like that. But such an amazing series. But this latest one, and especially what they're going to be doing with Ragnarok as well, are just going to be amazing. And two of the most iconic weapons in any video game, either with the Blades of Chaos and the Leviathan axe.
Yeah, that axe was
That
what
was
sold me.
awesome. That was
after that opening fight with what's it called, the
Balder.
Stranger or something. Yeah, after that fight, and we get the axe, and I was like,
yeah.
all right, I'm in now.
Like, even
that's awesome.
Yeah.
like the nostalgia part of we're an Xbox podcast. Who cares if we're spoiling PlayStation games? Even the part where like you're in the place where you have to use the Blades of Chaos because it's Helheim, it's the ice, so you have to use that to do damage. Like as soon as I finished that, I was like, right, cool. I don't need those blades anymore. I'm just going to use the axe because the axe was just so awesome to use.
Yeah, it was satisfying, and I'm very glad that. I know some people aren't, but the new one's coming to PS4 as well because I don't have a PS5 yet, and I probably won't be able to find one / buy one, even if I could find one.
But you'll get one by
comes
then.
out. Well, we'll see. This, I'm not buying it just for that, but if we get a new Last of Us or Uncharted, I might be tempted. But
There'll be a new Uncharted, definitely. Last of Us.
Anyway, that's should we move on before we turn into gaming tavern, Xbox taverns, or console platform chat nonsense? Right. Right. Thank you very much. If you have an answer, let us know on Twitter at Xbox Tavern in the comments below, etc., etc. And so we can go and check out some decent video games on other platforms. Really, that would be wonderful. Thank you, and please, and thank you. Cheers. Right, video games we have been playing, gentlemen. What have we been playing this week? Let's go for Ian first. Tell me all about the games you've been playing this week. Not all of
I've
them.
been playing.
I was going to say, shall we do a tie-in and do sort of, since we've both been playing the same game,
Yeah, why not?
and let's butcher it.
So let's talk about Crossfire X and how. Crossfire.
You say,
is.
but tell us what you tried on us beforehand. How many achievement points have you got?
I've got about 800, 700 ish. It's not a good game. It's pretty poor, but
It's terrible.
I'm it's pretty poor, but I'm also pretty good at it, which is quite frustrating at the same time. So, I mean, I've got quite a few like messages like, "Oh, you shot me first. I shot you first, and you killed me before me." I mean, it's annoying because there's no health regeneration. So no matter what, you can't regenerate health. So even if you just play aggressive every time. No matter how many times you just go aggressive all the time.
And they're not even like medkits or anything.
Nope, nothing.
Okay.
Thing is, I don't mind that element of it. Thing is, like, see, looking at it, it's not ugly. I'm not saying it's the best looking game in the world, but it's not an ugly looking game. It's just it's poor in every other aspect.
Exactly, and that's the thing. It's like it doesn't really like. There's no real aim down sights. It's all just hip firing.
Oh no, you can aim down sights if you don't play classic mode. If you play modern, you can do aim down sights.
Okay, I was in classic mode.
Classics only from the hip. I played a few games in classic, realised I was utter shit at firing from the hip, and thought, right, I'm having to go to modern here because this is terrible.
Yeah, okay. So I was playing the classic mode then, and yeah, but for me, it's just boring. It's just the same map. There's no real maps.
Yeah.
There's less different game modes.
And even
the maps really change.
Even the campaign is just dreadful.
Have you managed to access it via? I suppose you share with Dan, didn't you?
Yeah, I was optimistic. Like I obviously on the PC, it's got a load of success behind it in regards to how popular it is as an online multiplayer. It's just so poor. It's
not well executed.
Disappointed in it. I mean,
I don't understand why they don't have all the other maps, but it's like when you play team deathmatch, but have the maps they've got in rotation, not just the one map, which is that fucking stupid ship that you're on, which is just dreadful. And obviously you can also get loads of spawn killing as well, which is just not fun at all.
No, and it's very easy to spawn kill as well in this game.
Yeah,
and the maps.
Rubbish.
The maps, the one I played, it was like a street that led into a villa type idea, and the choke points were so obvious. It wasn't like, you know how some play like in Siege where you can learn the map, so like you know where the bomb's going to be or you know where the hostage is going to be, so you've got routes to get you from A to B very quickly. It wasn't like you had to learn them. They were just so obvious when you spawned in that there was no skill involved. You just knew that there was going to be somebody coming around the corner that you had the advantage over, and then boom, dead.
Yeah. And I think there's another one, Search and Destroy mode, which is really poorly executed as well.
That's the one I played last
Yeah.
week when I spoke about. It's fucking dreadful.
Because it's you're visible, and if you go to the option objective point, this is in classic mode again. If you go to the B spawn point, they can climb up on a little mantle bit and put the bomb inside the middle, and no one can get to it. So you can win every time if you get it. And the fucking knives are just shit. Like, why? You take them, like, you go to stab someone, and it's like, nope, knife comes out. You go, what? You got to shoot to get the
you
knife.
Click it. That's what I said to Dan. I was like, again, I got it out. I was like, why is he not fucking doing anything? And I didn't really pull the trigger.
Yeah.
But he's not even behind. He's behind. He's not even getting the one stab death. It's like, and then you're dead by the time you do anything.
Yeah. This guy started turning around
as well. It takes so long to do a grenade animation. It's like, so it's gun, grenade.
It needs.
Sorry.
It needs a lot of work.
So obviously you've got to do the grenade bit before when you're out your spawn, just throw it, and then hopefully no one's near you, otherwise you're fucked.
So this was quite a popular game, I think, in China and stuff, wasn't it? Before it came to.
Well, that's what I mean. It was massively popular before, like when it first got announced and was shown. Was it E3 2 years ago?
It was about a couple of years ago, yeah.
Yeah, and like everybody was blowing up about it, saying this game that's like viral in sort of the Eastern market, and I just can't see why.
No, I can't.
I
don't understand how it is.
It's like a poor man's CS:GO, and CS:GO isn't by any shape or form a technical masterpiece.
No, but it's still better.
But it's better than this, and that's exactly what it is. It's CS:GO, but shitter.
Yeah, I think, like I say, it's good that they got obviously maps for specific objectives and stuff, but just have more maps and rotation. Even if, like, especially for team deathmatch, it doesn't matter if you have a map that's made for search and destroy, because it's still going to be the same kind of concept of you killing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
vastly underwhelming considering the hype it had going into it. But, yeah, so get the full 1000G, delete it, never think about it again, Ian.
Standard.
I mean, the thing is, I'll delete it, I'll leave it, and it might be No Man's Sky. They might strip it back, they might build on it, they might make it well worth the time to invest in. I never want to dismiss a dev until they give up. Anthem, for example, they gave up on Anthem. End of story. That was it. They quit. No Man's Sky, what is it? They've had 100 and... I was reading it the other day. Now, let me get this number right. I'm sure No Man's Sky has had 119 significant updates. Not patches, updates.
Yeah, they've done a hell of a amount of work to fix that game. Whereas I think with Crossfire, though, the problem is, because of its previous success, etc., I think they've just kind of put it out as is and gone, well, it was good enough there. Have it. And I don't see them. I think the flaws of it are fundamental, like design decisions, like the way they've designed the aiming down sights or not aiming down sights or the maps and stuff. So unless they literally rework every single thing about it, I think it is what it is now, which for us at least is shit, quite frankly.
So yeah, No Man's Sky's had 19 significant updates, and that's going from like 1.0 and then not including like 1.1, 1.2. It's just 19 major updates in the game. If Crossfire X do something like that, fantastic. But
I suppose only time will tell.
Happen.
Yeah,
God, not gonna happen.
Until it does that, then it is, don't play it.
Yeah, even for free on included on Game Pass.
It is terrible.
Just,
I mean, even like Bleeding Edge was better than this. And that was saying something.
There's so many better shooters on there. Not, obviously you got Halo, you got Gears, you got fucking even things like Battlefield or Titanfall or all this sort of stuff on Game Pass.
Yeah, and then dropping it like your MOBAs like fucking Overwatch, Valorant, games like that.
Yeah, far better games. However, speaking of better games, Ian, tell us what else you've been playing this week. I'm very
The
excited
other
to hear
title
this.
I've been mainly playing is Dishonored: Death of the Outsider.
Have you played it before, or are you just going back for Chivos?
So I have played it before, so I'm going back for Chivos, but I'm on a Dishonored train at the moment. So of the point of now, I wanted to play. I'll play this one now. I'm actually going back and playing the original Dishonored, which I'm going to start more later on this evening.
It's not like those games are any good.
It's been a pleasure, Ross. I know you host the podcast, but if you could just disappear into the background, that'd be lovely.
How dare you? I mean, I think this one's different because, like I say, it's different kind of style. You're not playing as Corvo.
What's her name? I forget her name. You're playing as. You remember?
Oh my! You know, I knew you can ask me that.
She's the one trying to kill Corvo in one of the main games, isn't she?
Yeah, she was trying to kill him. Yeah, but then I think because she works for Dowd.
Yeah.
And then obviously she becomes a bit more friendly, but you don't get to see Corvo in this at all because obviously she works with she's trying to kill the
outsider.
Outsider, yeah, of course. So Billy, there we go.
And,
that's her name, Billy.
And her powers they're different to her Corvo and what's her name?
Emily.
Emily, that's it.
Yes. So her power also is similar. Still got like something like sort of like Blink, where you can move across, but occasionally you put like a body there. So again, if someone walks into that bit where your body is going to move when you land, you can obviously blink into the person to make them explode.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's always lovely to do.
Nice.
Obviously, for me, I only done it once or twice, and I have to go, nope, Ian, you're doing a no-kill one
stealth.
here.
We do all stealth. We don't kill anyone.
No killing anyone.
We've got to be quiet. We've got to take our time. Yeah. Yeah.
I think time reload.
For me, I think it's probably the weakest of the three. But that's not saying much because it's still fucking awesome. It's
still a brilliant game.
Like
I say, the way they've changed the story and the concept and like obviously you've got 3 different characters. So you've got her, then there's in this one, obviously, and then obviously before in the 2 you use Emily and again brings in new powers. Yeah. So I'm glad the fact they're bringing in more different kind of styles of powers and whatnot. But yeah, I think Billy's quite a cool little character. Her storyline's such a pretty good storyline in a way. So yeah, now it's maybe go back want to play the original Dishonored just to kind of go, why was they saying this before? So now I'm actually going back and starting the original Dishonored on the PC.
Man, what a great series of games. I'm so disappointed that we haven't got any new ones recently.
I know, it makes really want a new Dishonored. I think next week will be me waffling on about Dishonored.
I genuinely thought you would say next week, yep, there's going to be a next Dishonored. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah. Ross, if you just want to say Dishonored and next quiz by accident.
Exactly, I'll just call it before
it into existence.
So I genuinely think that Dishonored, the newest one, will come to Game Pass, definitely, without a doubt.
Nice. Good work, Ross. Thank you.
Good, Ross. Thank you.
Bethesda, listen to me. So, we're good.
Yeah, I've been thinking about playing Dishonored again, but it's just finding the time. But what a great series. I know Graham loves them. Graham, what's your favourite
Well, I completed the first one, but I don't do that.
He's got further than me.
Yeah.
But no, yeah.
I killed everyone in sight. Fuck this stealth.
I just think it's such a good franchise. So you're definitely going to be playing for the first one again now, just to kind of remind myself about it all.
So it's so clever and well done. But anyway, we can talk about Dishonored as long as you guys talk about Pokemon, but we won't.
Nope, we can do that next week when I played the original Dishonored.
Damn right.
That'll be all about me next week. So next week, get hear about how much I love Dishonored.
Damn fucking straight. Right.
And some of the DLCs there are fantastic as well.
Yes. We'll get into that. I might even install it and play a little bit to help you out. Right, Graham, what have you been playing this week?
You know what they should do? Sorry. Oh, no, sorry, Graham.
No, we'll talk about Dishonored as long as you're not Ian. I don't mind.
Fuck it. I'm going to say this. If they do bring out a new Dishonored, oh my God, how much good it would be if it was co-op?
Ooh. Ian, these trousers only stretch so far, please.
I mean, because also you've got Billy, you've got obviously Emily, you've got Corvo. You can bring in a new one if you wanted to, and even you can have 2 or 4 player co-op with those characters. I mean, a brand new one, and then Billy, Corvo, and thingy. Oh, chef kiss.
Well, hopefully that will be what we get with Redfall, with their take on. Granted, it'll be a different style of game, but if they've all got different powers and you're working together,
that game's going to be so good.
That that would be. If they've got those similar powers to Dishonored in Redfall, this is going to be. I forgot about Redfall. Now you mentioned it. Now I want to go back and watch the trailers of Redfall.
Yes. Fingers crossed we get some fucking decent stuff. But anyway, let's talk about Dishonored next week. Next week's Dishonored podcast special. Graham, I hope you've
Yeah, I'm
finished.
not well next week.
Graham's forgotten his safe word next week. Great. What have you been playing this week that's not Dishonored?
The two games that I've been playing are my two review games. One is up on the site and the other one is due. I just need to finish writing it up. And first one is Infernax, which is a brutal sort of old school side-scrolling platforming game. It's in a similar vein to Castlevania. It has many kind of nods to Castlevania in the way it plays. I don't know if any of you played the old school Castlevania games. But
Castlevania.
It just has a bit where the day turns from day to night, and it has a little text box that's in there that said that night falls and stuff. That was very traditional Castlevania, that the text box of changing from day to night, the transition, very, very Castlevania-ish. But it's sort of targeted at adults because they've sort of ramped up the gore, but it's all kind of in that kind of 8-bit style graphical.
I'm just
Kind of
watching
gore.
the trailer now. Yeah, it looks like something on a Master System. It is awesome.
And the cutscenes in there are sort of all done like the 8-bit style graphic, but then there's this super gory and sort of amazing the way it's kind of done.
It's got a cheat. You can unlock a jetpack in it.
Yeah, so that's the bit I kind of missed. Is
You can
that
use the
there was-
Konami code, and then that will get you stuff.
Yeah, just rubbing it in at what Jake did as well about using the fucking codes. I didn't use those kind of codes. I did make it a little bit easier. I think you put it on a casual mode just to get through the game as quickly as possible so I could review it all.
Yeah.
But yeah, they give you 2 codes straight away. I didn't know how you got the other codes without looking on it online, but yeah, if you look inside the options menu, it gives one for maximum jumping, which I didn't use, and one for invincibility, which I tested out, and it just means you just can't get hit. So it kind of devalues the game a little bit. So
You still get achievements for that.
yes, you can. That's why I kind of turned it off, because I thought, oh, you can just completely cheese the game that way.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, apparently I saw somewhere as well that all the achievement names are metal songs.
Yeah, they got kind of all got cool names, and there's a lot of it's just the game's quite cool and quite sort of tongue in cheek the way it's kind of thing, and it's a kind of a mini spoiler, but in like the old school Castlevania game, one of the weirdest things that the Castlevania game had was that you kneeled in front of a cliff, and a tornado took you to the next part of the level. And that was just seen as bizarre. Like people had to rely on sort of like Nintendo power to work that kind of thing out, because no one knew that was just what you did. And it has that kind of cliff in this game. I thought, I wonder if they put that in there. And you do that, and the tornado comes, shreds you up, and said, "Did you really think a tornado was going to help you?" And the game just puts you back to the same point. So it literally does kill you. So it's a massive sort of tip the hat to Castlevania. So yeah, some bits are kind of old school Wonder Boyish. It can be a bit repetitive. Like to get upgrades, you have to keep killing enemies, and the casual enemies are not that hard. They're just same kind of rhythm kind of enemies. You just keep smashing through them, and if you come out the screen and back onto the screen, you can just keep smashing the same one to try and get coins and experience, etc., to buy upgrades and stuff. So there is a little bit of grinding if you do it that way. And but the boss fights are how old school boss fights are done. Sort of you go in there blind, and you usually just get smashed to bits, and then you start working out their pattern bit by bit, and then eventually kind of go, okay, so I do this, then hit, go back, hide,
I like that.
jump.
So you've got to learn
It's
the mechanics.
not, so once you do it, then obviously it's super simple, but you just need to work out what the pattern is for every kind of boss, and it's just that kind of fun. And it's just fun. Every enemy you hit, as the blood spits out and it ends up landing on your character. You're just walking with blood on you, and you can jump, and eventually it just falls off your body. But yeah, it's that kind of thing. As you've got some choices in the game where it says this guy's possessed. Do you pray and hope that he overcomes this sort of disease, or do he asks you to kill him, or do you put him out of his misery? And whatever choice you make in certain games has some consequences, and that's like the very first one you come up against. And I chose to sort of put him out of his misery, and then you see his wife spots you and then sort of legs it away, and later on she doesn't talk to you because you killed her husband. And so you can see how, if you prayed for him, how that would play out differently. So it has a little bit of replay value, that bit, as you make different choices. And some of the choices you make have weird consequences. Some of them are quite amusing. And it's, yeah, by the time you realize what the outcome was, you think, maybe I should have picked the other one. Or I wonder how this would have played out if I didn't do this.
Is it an especially long game? Or?
Not massively. I'd done it in about sort of 3-4 sittings, and that was sort of using sort of an easier mode to try and get my way through it.
Okay.
But I mean, if you're not massively great at platformers, it might take you a bit longer to work out some of the kind of patterns if you're not trying to sort of cheat your way through or fudge your way through that way. But but it can be done. There is ways of like getting some replay value, as Jake pointed out to me after I read the reviews, that you can put codes into play as different characters, and they sort of, the game is slightly different. So you can put it in, you start off as a wizard rather than the Duke is what you play as. So I was, and yeah, the wizard already looks like it's going to be a pain in the ass, because you use your move and your magic runs out, and then you just have a little stick that's like literally a tiny bit in front of you that you can hit detection bit with, whereas your Duke has got a big old mace that you have a little bit of range with. So if you run out of magic, you can only sort of hit them if they're really close to you. It's just going to make it super hard.
Okay.
But yeah, that one's pretty decent. And so if you're into those kind of sort of optical platformers, this is definitely adult themed, and yeah, it's good fun.
I was gonna say the trailer does look really like quite gory. Like there's bits where he's like charging through bodies and they're just like exploding blood mess on the screen.
Yeah, there's just loads of guts and blood to it, and it always just lands on your character. He's just just nonchalantly just shrugs it all off.
Just wiping it. It's just like,
yeah, it's just literally that kind of stuff. It's quite funny. But yeah, that one's good, which leads you to my other one, which I haven't brought up yet, and that was Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires.
I miss these games so much. I used to love playing these games.
And so do I. I mean, I've played like those ones. I always preferred the Samurai Warriors style. The Japanese ones got way much more memorable characters than the Chinese Dynasty ones, but they're still kind of fun to play. Like the action is just as good as I remember. You sort of, they call it the 1,000-to-1 mode, because you're almost guaranteed to get 1,000 kills or KOs in every sort of round you play, which is still there. Like the action bit is still there, but the thing is, it hasn't changed. It says it's supposed to be for sort of series, X or S, but I mean, graphically they always looked decent anyway. They weren't amazingly styled, but they were still quite pretty enough. But I can't say that I've noticed any kind of improvement from the previous gen to now. Like I would have thought, oh, maybe they can hold more characters on the screen at once. That's not true. It's pretty much the same. The loading times, the loading in here is more than what I thought they would be. And just I don't get what has supposed to been upspuffed for this bit. And I much prefer the normal game than the Empires. The difference between the Dynasty Warriors 9 and the Empires mode is that they're sort of a tactical strategy rounds in between the action. And it gets quite samey really quickly. You can set sort of mini objectives of what you like to do, like bribe an officer, try and recruit someone, scout someone, talk to people. I get it, sort of, if you're into that kind of sort of the whole Dynasty way, you learn about the characters and the different histories, and you take your time planning, like I guess like Tropico and things like that, like proper sort of war strategies, and sort of take your time. You don't just rule in and invade everyone because you run out of supplies. But that's really not where the fun is, and it gets really old because it's just a rinse and repeat cycle. It's sort of occasionally you get different sort of cutscenes, but it's just there's about 5 or 6 or so different scenarios, and it's just they all do the same thing. You just start off with different characters. You get your starting areas of China that you currently occupy, and then you can either choose to make alliances, invade and stuff, and it's just that constantly. Every 6 months, you've got to do actions in between, and you set yourself objectives which get you level up if you hit those objectives. But every now and then, someone tries to invade your island, and you've got to try and protect it or defend yourself. And the defending and invading, that's where the action comes into it, where you do your things. You've got to, take over bases and just literally just rinse the enemy. And then the things they've kind of added in are certain special moves that you can do that have effects on like your whole army as such. So you can sort of inspire them to, like, there's like sorcery that you can do that sets fire appearing on the whole battlefield that hurts the enemy, but you have to protect the sorcerer's casting the spell before the enemy's got to kind of kill him. So you can block each other's strategies like mid-battle. So those kind of bits, but that's where all the action is had. It's just that bit. So if you want that bit, the Dynasty Warriors 9 is probably the way to go. This kind of strategy element is kind of a bit niche. And yeah, it's not really that enjoyable, which is a shame because I loved all of these ones. That's sort of pretty rusted as well. Have you played the Warriors Orochi ones as well? Just all of those were much, much better. And like I said, I was hoping that at least, you'd see some kind of improvement or what they've done to optimize it for Series S and X. And I don't quite see it, to be honest.
See, in theory, the power of the console should allow you, as you said, to just have even bigger armies with much more sort of visual splendor. But from what I've seen, I mean, I haven't played it. It seems to be more of the
Hasn't
same.
changed. Yeah.
Just with maybe a slightly more stable frame rate, perhaps. I don't know, but
from bits that I've been reading, some people said they're still kind of tearing, but you can choose between. I don't know, it's got some weird movie mode or something, but obviously it optimizes the resolution, optimizes the frame rate, etc. But it's much of a muchness. If you could probably put the last gen and this gen next to each other, and you probably wouldn't notice too much difference. So it's a bit of a shame. I expected at least somewhat, but the only good thing I can say is the action is still there. The actual fighting bit is still as fun as it always was, just killing multiple or knocking out loads of enemies and having officer battles. That's still pretty fun. Nice. And it's still 2-player that you can have off, like playing co-op offline, which is still good fun to do.
Local co-op, you mean?
Yeah.
Cool. Nice. Good. So your review of that will be up shortly. Your review of Infernax, is that what it's called?
Yep, Infernax
is up now.
Already up.
And yeah, that looks pretty awesome. I think I'm going to give that a go at some point this week.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a go definitely as well. I think it seems like little quirky title, especially with the Konami codes and stuff.
And it's part of Game Pass as well.
That's the sort of game that I wish I could get into, but like it's one of those things. It's the getting over the hurdle of actually starting it. I think once I started, I enjoy it, but it's the actually jumping into it and going back the way graphically, like way.
I don't mind those titles, especially when obviously you've got like a laptop you take with you and then just play during lunch break or something.
Yeah. You can. I reckon quite easy to get into it.
No, definitely one I'm going to try.
I think it seems like a perfect sort of cloud gaming game as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Whip out your old Razor Kishi, or not Razor Kishi. Was that
Rikishi?
Rikishi.
Back that shit up.
Back that shit up.
All right, Ross, regale us for what you've been playing other than Crossfire.
Well, let's not talk about the dumpster fire that is Crossfire X. I think we've spent more than enough time talking about that game so far. I have Mass Effect, but that's not really much to talk about. Everybody knows about Mass Effect. Just put more hours into Dying Light. Started to shape the game. Don't want to spoil it too much, but started to shape the game in regards to leaning more towards one faction than the rest of them. Such a good game. Just storyline's great. How your choices affect the game. I've just unlocked the paraglider, which is fucking awesome from traversing buildings. Discovered a few little quirks about the game, which I don't know if Techland have left in on purpose or if it's just broken elements, but you can jump from any height regardless, and as long as you land on a car, you won't die.
What?
Yeah. So there's numerous videos that you'll see it that like they go to the highest building in the whole game, jump off it, and you can it gives you like the whole like terminal velocity effect at the sides, so everything like goes all blurry and fast. And then like you land on the car and you do a roly poly, and then you're back up. And you're like, I'm fine. This is great. But yeah, so I don't know if
you met any children trying it off the top of car parks. The car's down there.
We'll
be all right.
We'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Light told us.
So yeah, there's wee bits and pieces like that. Like maybe they meant to leave it in, maybe they didn't mean to leave it in, but it's I haven't come across any issues with the game apart from that. I've just met a fairly significant character, not spoiling the character's name, but played by the wonderful and amazing Rosario Dawson. So just came across her. She's a fairly significant character in the whole storyline of the game. Just been properly introduced to the third faction in the game. Really starting to ramp up a wee bit now in regards to what your character's storyline is in regard to it. It's built on everything that the first game was good at, and just infinitely better. The parkour is amazing. The landscapes are amazing. The day-night cycles, like, so much more rewarding. Just it's shaping up to be, like, obviously they've got this 5-year roadmap where they want to add DLCs, different story-based events, different multiplayer type aspects to it. If they stick true to their word, then they've got a masterpiece in their hands for the next few years.
So at least 500 hours worth of gameplay.
Mhm.
I think I'm trying to think what I'm in. Like I say, we've only just reached the third faction out of all of them, and I think I'm 15-20 hours in on the multiplayer one that I'm playing in just now, and barely scratched the surface of. I think I'm level. I don't even think I've hit level 3 yet. I'm a level. No, it must be more. Level 4? Yeah, level 4 I'm sure I am on my wee progress bar. And yeah. That's
Level 4 after 15 to 20 hours.
Yeah.
That seems excessive.
It does. The thing is, so the levels don't equate to leveling up, as stupid as that sounds. So you've got your levels, and that's applicable to your gear. So your gear is tied into your level. But your stats, you gain XP for, and you gain skill points based on the type of gameplay that you play. So you've got 2 skill trees, 1 parkour, 1 combat. So if you spend the full night on the ground fighting loads of hordes, you'll level up your XP rapidly. If you spend most of the time jumping over cars and being opportunistic, you'll level up your parkour. Your health and your stamina are dictated by something called inhibitors. You have to go into risky areas to find inhibitors. And that means your health goes up, your stamina goes up, but you have to find inhibitors to progress throughout the game, because to unlock sort of safe zones and to do certain areas in the map where you have to traverse buildings and things like that, you need to have a certain level of stamina, because you need to sort of shimmy your way up buildings, and if your stamina runs out, you fall off. So you need to do these side quests to get the inhibitors, otherwise you can't progress in the main story. But your actual, so like on the trailer just now, the box at the side there that Aiden's looking at, that's an inhibitor. Yeah. So that's what he has to go and find. But the level is as like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's just to do your gear. So you don't have to worry about leveling up that way, as long as you're leveling up your combat, parkour, and your inhibitors.
So a lot to get into, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
And a lot to learn. Gray, have you played any more of it this week? Because I know you played some last week.
I played a little bit more earlier on in the week, and yeah, I get confused on the map where it says there's loot to pick up around the army kind of people. It's like usually some big giant guy around, but the tank.
Yeah.
And he kind of smashes everyone around out, and you have to lockpick to get some of the loot out, which some of it's okay and some of it's not. But I'm getting exactly what Ross is saying, that you need inhibitors to progress. Some of the windmills, which are like the safe zones, you can't get to unless you've got improved stamina and stuff.
So going right back to like the very earliest point, the first windmill that you get is basically there's a block that moves up and down, and then there's platforms to the. So like if you're standing on the left, the block will be on the right, and the next platform will be higher up on the left. You jump across to that, it lifts you up. You jump across to that, and then you can activate the windmill. But once you get 3 or 4 windmills deep, there's 3 or 4 blocks that you need to rely on jumping between before you can get up to the top platform. And if you don't have enough inhibitors and enough stamina to do that, you'll fall. So you need to then go and source inhibitors to unlock that safe zone.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fair enough.
So yeah, that, and I have a feeling he might be searching for his sister, but he likes to keep that quiet.
Not mention every fucking character that you speak to. Just on the trailer there, if anybody was watching it, the lassie who does the whole and then falls off the building, that's Rosario Dawson, who is fucking awesome in this game so
It's
far.
not his sister, no.
No.
He's still searching for her.
Is he looking for her? Is he?
What's
Everybody.
happened to the sister? No, I don't.
It's like, you've just killed the peacekeepers. Why did you do that? I'm looking for my sister.
So I played after last week's podcast. I started it and I only did, I don't know, not even half an hour, I suppose. I didn't get very far at all. But you already mentioned it about 4 times.
Oh, it's like, dude, we know that. Okay, you don't need to mention it every fucking 3.5
I'm
minutes.
looking for my sister.
Oh, bless him. He's looking for his sister.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see if he's found his sister next week, hopefully. And we'll get back to that. I might try it again. Add it to the list of things to try and play in an infinite amount of time, somehow, some way. Yeah, so cool. Thank you very much.
Yourself.
I suppose it's me now, isn't it? Yeah. Right, very quickly then. I played a preview of Submerged Hidden Depths, which is the sequel to Submerged, which came out a couple of years ago. Excuse me. And it's basically it's almost like the parkour bits of Assassin's Creed as you climb the towers to sort of you get the eagle's nest, we expand the map.
Yep.
But that's all it is. So you ride around on a boat on the waves. The whole city you're in has been submerged underwater, obviously. And the idea is you get to these different points and you've got to work your way to the top, find the seed that you can take back to the bottom to sort of liberate the disease that's encompassed the world. There's no combat. There's no real danger. It's just a case of how do I get up to the top. The first few that I've played have been pretty simple, so there's only really one route or one pathway, but along the way that you might have to open a door, so when you come back down you can just carry the seed. You haven't got to drop it or there's a bucket you got to put it in, it'll ride down, and then you've got to find another way back down to get to it at the bottom top thing. And yeah, it's just enjoyable. As I like to say with a lot of games I play on this podcast, it's just nice and relaxing. There's no stress. There's no, like you said with Dan Light, you've got to source all this sort of stuff so you can survive and progress. This you can just play, just enjoy it. It looks lovely, plays lovely, and even though it's set entirely on water, I'm not scared. So win-win.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Ooh,
In water,
he's
on
being
water,
brave.
and in boats, Ian. I know you love it. Yeah, no, it's a lovely little game. I think it's out in a couple of weeks as well, so probably end up doing a review for that. But so far, my coverage or my impressions, I should say, are based on the first hour or thereabouts. And yeah, it's really, really enjoyable. Like I said, not too difficult, not too in depth, but just the right side of challenging without sort of over egging it a bit and being a bit like, oh fuck me, I've got to climb yet another tower. So far, so good. Yeah, so go check it out. Like I said, my
Surprised you're not scared though.
I think because you can't go under the water, you stay strictly on top of the surface.
So,
Is there no swimming or anything?
No.
So you wouldn't be a big fan of Subnautica? Yeah.
Oh god, he would never play that.
I played that for half an hour and I was like, nope, this is no.
I feel like that would be like a perfect stream. Like if we all had to pick a game, like get Gray doing a fucking stealth game, get fucking me doing some sort of fucking roguelike, get Jay doing some sort of fucking Subnautica game. Just
Yeah. No, if
Just get me playing any horror game.
I was going to say get
whatsoever.
Ian playing, or get Ian playing either Outlast or something like Silent Hill or something like that.
Yeah, Outlast would be fucking brilliant to watch Ian play.
Or
He has to play it
Amnesia.
properly in the dark. Yeah.
Get him playing Amnesia. That's even better.
Or
No, I'm all right,
Amnesia,
thanks.
Outlast. It's a tough call between the pair of them.
What was the one to do with pigs to do with Amnesia?
Machine for Pigs?
That's what it was. Yep.
I've never played that one. I've got it, but I've never got around to actually starting it. But yeah, the first Amnesia was awesome. Anyway, maybe we'll do that for Extra Life this year. We'll actually do something for Extra Life this year. And we'll have to
I'm
play
up
the
for that.
games that we don't want to play.
What's this?
Extra life.
Extra Life every
Oh,
year.
yeah,
It's
sorry,
for charity
yes.
for the kids' hospitals and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe we should do that where we all have to play over the course of 24 hours games that we would rather not play because they're
Throwing
fucking
that up,
terrifying.
that will be on the build up to that. I think that will be a week of Twitter polls, and each host will get a list of games that the viewers can vote on what they don't want to play. They want to see the hosts play, even though they will absolutely fucking hate it.
Yes, and yeah. Oh, I'm not. Why did I suggest that? Why do we do this? Anyway, let's
Yeah,
carry
you've just thrown yourself.
Make sure it's
under the
VR
bus.
Do you
as
know
well.
what? Do you know what I'm really scared of? Resident Evil games. I'm
Resident
terrified.
Evil games and stealth
terrified.
games named Dishonored.
and House of the Dead. Oh,
Let's play
terrifying.
Subnautica in VR.
Oh, I think I've already shit my pants playing.
I was
Right,
gonna say we
okay,
wouldn't
right.
have G on the show for like 6 weeks. He'd be like a quither and messless.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I can put on my big boy pants maybe, but we'll see what we. And the other title I've been playing this week, which kind of it's a sort of a twofer, should we go for? Because I've been testing / reviewing this little bad boy,
Oh,
which is the Naked
fancy.
Mgx Pro. So I reviewed the MGX a few months ago. It's a pretty decent little cloud gaming solution, but this is the Pro version. So it's basically, if you cut that middle bit out, it's basically an Xbox controller.
Yep.
And you put your
Smart device.
Demonstrate for the class. Put your smart device in there. I can't remember. It goes up to about 6.7 inches or something. That's what all the ladies tell me anyway.
Yep.
And yes, you put it in there, and it's basically you've got an Xbox controller either side of your phone. Really good bit of kit. My review will be up this week. I'm really enjoying using it so far. But when I went onto the cloud service, I thought, what is a good game to test with it? And the first one that popped up was A Plague's Tale: Innocence. And so I've been playing that, and fuck me, what a great game that is!
I do want to play that because
What
again,
I
stealth.
thought it had left Game Pass. So when it popped up, I was like, oh, I found a hack here. Cloud gaming, it's still on there. It's still on the Game Pass. But yeah, that's fucking brilliant. I'm fucking loving it. I played the intro, a year, 2 years ago, and I never got back to it. But I'm up to chapter 5 or 6 now. And yeah, I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it.
I've
Like I
heard
said,
really good things about it. I really need to
bit
get
of
into
stealth
it and play it.
action. The story's really interesting. The characters are really good. It almost reminds me kind of Last of Us, not quite up to the level of Last of Us, but the way they interact and the way that everything's set up is very much like the stealth elements of that without the combat.
Yeah.
And yeah, the way the rat hordes sort of chase you down, the way the soldiers move, I'm really enjoying it. Really, really enjoying it.
so I'm going to sound a wee bit slow here, but this is Innocence. What's Requiem? Is that the new one? Is that what's coming out? Or is
Oh wait,
that
maybe I got the wrong way around. Maybe it is Requiem. No, which
A
one's which?
Plague Tale is the one that's come out. It's already out.
But then, yeah, because they've got Innocence, and then they've got is Requiem the new one, or am I talking rubbish?
Yeah, Innocence
yeah,
the one
Requiem,
now.
yeah.
Requiem's the new one.
Requiem
Right,
is
that's
the
what I
new
was
one,
getting
which
mixed up.
is-
Yeah, I
It's
knew.
been announced, but it hasn't been released yet. Yeah, when it first came out, I was writing for Xbox Tavern, but there was someone else in charge, and I messaged him about reviewing it, but he'd already started it, so I missed the chance. And I was like, I'll get to it at some point. See. And then Game Pass come along. Here we are, and yeah, it's fucking brilliant. I'm really loving it. The only reason I haven't played more is because I can't play it with the kids, obviously, because it's not
It's
really
rats and
appropriate for
scary.
children.
It's a bit on the
because, yeah,
creepy side.
because it's people getting devoured by rats and
Yep.
dismembered and all this sort of stuff. And I've been reviewing other stuff, but yeah, no, I'm really, especially on the cloud gaming, obviously with this little controller and that, it's sort of the perfect thing because it's not too fast paced and it's not too action heavy where you sort of got the lag and stuff. It's just, yeah, an excellent game. And then I've gone onto the TV and it looks fucking stunning now because it's been XNS enhanced, as it were. And yeah, I'm really, really enjoying it. And again, not maybe for Graham because it's more stealth based rather than combat. But yeah, really, really good. I'm very pleased I actually sat down and properly played it. I probably put about 5 or so hours in over the weekend. And I'm definitely going to play some more over the course of the week while I'm reviewing this and just on the console itself. Yeah, really, really good. Speaking of, just going back to this though, very quickly, I was playing Halo Infinite multiplayer with this. And when I played it with the MGX original unit, I found it a bit tricky to aim and shoot because the triggers were far too stiff. The only real niggle was that they were just like fucking, you had to like put your whole arm on the trigger just to try and pull it. It was really stiff. But this, just like any old regular controller, it's excellent, this bit of kit. So my review will be up soon. But yeah, and the cloud gaming worked amazing. I was actually kicking some ass in Halo on cloud gaming. I think I was top of the leaderboard in all the games I played. Didn't necessarily win. I led my team to almost victory. As Dan would say.
The classic line.
Almost.
That's a Dan. That's a Dan. He is
But
here
yeah,
in
no,
spirit.
Yeah, it's really good, really good. So yeah, Plague Tale: Innocence. I'm fucking loving it. I can't wait to play some more. And yeah, go check it out. I'm glad it stayed on Game Pass because there was rumored to leave at the beginning of February, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, it's back on there. I don't know if it was an accident or something, but it's on there, and I'm going to play it. And hopefully, I'll finish it before it leaves again. And then when the new one comes out, even better. Yeah, so that's about it. I played loads of other stuff, but that's about it really. I got back into Fortnite earlier on. Do a bit of fishing. I played probably not the most responsible thing in the world, but I played with the kids for a little bit. They started to get into it, and I think we won every game we played, which granted might have been against bots, but I'm going to take it no matter what.
Back to Ian's what he classed Pokemon as guilty pleasure. Jumping into a bit of Fortnite is a guilty, especially if you're playing with the kids, is perfectly acceptable guilty pleasure gaming.
Yeah, I was already enjoying it. I haven't played it for ages, and I thought just on the whim, let's have a quick game. And the kids were sitting there. And thought, can we have a go? I thought, yeah, why not?
Yeah,
let's have a quick go. Let's just have a quick run around. I said, we're not going to shoot anyone. We'll just run around and build some stuff and see what we can find. And next thing I know, we're fucking shooting everyone left, right, and center. My youngest got a couple of kills. She won the game. I got knocked down because I fell off the building, and she got 2 kills and saved us.
Oh
the game.
yeah!
Like,
coming in clutch.
Hero.
And we watched the video back, and she's like got the sniper rifle out and fucking sniping them.
No scoping fuckers across the map.
Christ. So I'm not going to mess with you anymore.
Wow.
Jesus. But it's good fun. It's good fun. I love a bit of Fortnite.
Using me 360 no scoping soon.
She's gonna kick my ass.
Honestly,
I'm already...
like my wee man loves playing Fortnite, and you should see him and he's obsessed with going into creative mode and just building.
Yeah.
And see when it gets in game, so see like if he gets in a 1-on-1, he's building. It's like fucking amazing. But he couldn't hit a barn door if he was holding the handle because he doesn't practice. He doesn't practice the shooting side of things. Just look how tall I can build my building. I'm like, hey, that's great. That's fucking awesome. You don't win the game by building.
Oh, well, speedy builders do.
Speedy builders do, but they can still shoot.
Yeah, the speedy build didn't jump down what they're firing.
Exactly. Whereas he can't, because he can't hit a barn door holding the handle, and it's like, dude, like it's really cool that you can edit buildings really fast. Can you learn how to hit somebody with a gun? You might get a few more dubs.
Yeah, well, maybe my kids and your kids can team up. And they can
show how it's done.
They didn't even attempt to build. I said, yeah, we're going to start building. We just back around. And they didn't even try. They just fucking get in the machine.
That's the same. Like, I get down to like the final 3, like 2 or 3, and he's like, I get either win or I get killed. And he turns around to me, he looks at me and goes, Dad, why did you not just build a building? You would have won that game. I don't fucking know how to. All I know is how to aim down sight, shoot the fucker, and if I win, I win. If I don't, tough shit.
Good bit of Fortnite. I love a bit of Fortnite. Anyway. Enough video games. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for telling us what we've been playing this week. It's been wonderful. Ian. No, sorry, Ross. Tell us what's coming to Game Pass this week.
Well, I will
in
give
addition
you
to all the great games already there.
Yeah, I'll give you an accurate list, unlike fucking Dan's, where he just pulls it out from the Chucky's arse.
Dan's fake list.
That would be nice. Thank you.
So, due to a rather entertaining Super Bowl last week, I was off. So, I will run through the games that were in last week, and then I'll go into the games that are coming up. There is one coming up, or there was one that was on last week that I do want to mention because it is fucking awesome. Mass Effect Legendary Edition coming to the cloud 15th of February, so it's already there. The next 3 are all the February the 17th, and we've got Lawnmower Simulator on console, which apparently is fucking hilarious to watch. Don't know how good it is to play, but it is quite fun to watch. Madden NFL 22 as part of EA Play has came to Game Pass. That's on console and PC. The one that I'm really excited for, Total War Warhammer 3. Total War games, if anybody hasn't played them, are utterly outstanding. Total War Rome is amazing, and especially thrown in the Warhammer universe, which is fucking infinitely huge. I think the last time I checked, there's something like 150 books plus. So there's loads of lore. So people who are into the lore type games, that is one to jump into. And games that are coming up in the upcoming week, we've got Robo Quest on PC, February 22nd. Galactic Civilizations 3 on PC, February 24th. Super Mega Baseball 3, which for people who are baseball fans, before we got access to the show, had to luck out on the amazing Super Mega games, which were fucking, interesting to say the least.
Great.
Yeah. Coming to console on February 24th, and Alice Madness returns on PC February 28th. So quite a PC heavy month for the tail end of February.
Yeah, I think I'm quite interested to try that Total War because the Warhammer thing interests me more than the usual.
Yes.
Total War
So
side of
the
things.
Rome side, like don't get me wrong, for people who like the strategy games, like Total War normally, the Rome games are fantastic. I'm particularly interested in this one because of the Warhammer universe that's attached to it.
Warhammer.
So that's one that is currently installed and will be played at some point this week.
And speaking of Warhammer, check the site tomorrow night at around 7 p.m. for a preview of a totally different type of Warhammer game.
Go on.
Go on. Not allowed to till tomorrow. Ian, what's leaving Game Pass, sadly?
So unfortunately, we've got games leaving is Hypnospace Outlaw, Killer Queen Black, Stealth Inc. 2, Two Lunar Nights, and Titanfall, the original one.
Oh,
Original Titanfall.
because not everybody and their dog already owns Titanfall.
They should.
Exactly. Amount of times
shouldn't
been
they,
on
Graham?
£2 or something.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah. I don't imagine there's many people still playing the original one, surely.
Don't think so. No,
Not that aren't hacking or cheating. Or
Was there not? I was going to say, was there not an issue with Titanfall that it was bricking consoles because of some sort of cheat engine that was put into the coding of it?
Was there?
Yeah,
There was something along those lines.
it was
yeah.
something
Way
along
back
that. The original Titanfall was bricking consoles.
It's always a good start.
Yeah.
Maybe not buy that one. I'll get that one.
So a bit of a shame seeing that, and obviously,
Oh, sorry, no, that was
Killer Queen
Titanfall
Black.
2. It was a DDoS attack, and basically, it fucked your computer if you were playing it. Was it EA that came out, or was it not EA? Who was the other side of it? Respawn.
Respawn.
Basically came out and said, look, if you've got this installed and you do plan on playing it, don't, and please install it from your console. So that didn't work out very well for them.
No. But yeah, a bit of a shame to see Killer Queen Black going.
Yep, like I said
Great-
before we
great
started
little
the show, it was a game that I would never even have considered looking at until we done it as the Project Game Pass, and it is such a fucking laugh, especially if you got mates to play it with.
No, definitely a good fun time.
Absolutely loved it.
Maybe we should get a quick game in before it does leave.
I will be.
Next week.
I'll be down for
Yes, I'm down for that.
Maybe Tuesday or something. So, but we'll discuss it anyway.
that. It was when we were playing it, and it was like whoever was the queen, and like you four, including Dan, were like adamant, just try to like do whatever they had to do, and then like the little berries or the little gems that you could collect, I was just quite happy, just going,
Just potting along.
put that there. Such a good game.
Craft little bars. Yeah, great game. Play it while it's still there. When's it leave? The
End of month, 28th.
28th. Okay, so we've got a week or so yet. Graham, what about Games of Gold for those who want freebies?
Yeah, we have Broken Sword 5, The Serpent's Cursed from February the 1st to the 28th. Aerial Knights Never Yield from February 16th to March 15th. And Band of Bugs from February 16th to the 28th.
Cool. So go check them out. Get them downloaded if you're a Games of Gold or a Game Pass Ultimate member.
Aerial Night is surprisingly fun.
Yeah, supposedly. I've downloaded it, but it can
Give
go
it a
on
go.
the
I enjoyed it.
whacking great backlog of things I will eventually get to, such as Plague's Tale, which took me 6 years to get to at this point. So yeah, we'll get there eventually. Cool. Well, I think that's it, gentlemen. I think we've done it. I think we made another episode, 67th of Xbox Taverns Xbox Tavern podcast. We did it. We made it. Thank you very much for listening. If you made it this far, you're a fucking hero, and we love you. You can find us on Twitter at Xbox Tavern, YouTube, where we are right now, and where we record our podcast every week at 8 p.m.
Ish.
at YouTube, youtube.com/Xbox Tavern Official, and then TikTok and Discord and all the other stuff. It's all in the bit below where there's words. Click, subscribe, like, whatever. I don't know. I don't care. Whatever. Do what you like. Do whatever feels good to you. You can follow me at IanXan, and you can follow Ian,
And Nutty Ray.
Graham,
Reaper.
and Ross.
Chaotic 8389.
Thank you very much. Take care. We love you. Be good. And remember, everybody's supersonic racing all the time.
Da-da-da-da.
Bye.